name is Pauline Bogos. I'm French and I'm an Erasmus student due to an exchange between my business school and Leeds Beckett University. So I'm at Leeds Beckett University for one semester. So my blog is about marketing myths and how we can interpret them. So in the first part, I will talk about orientation and principally marketing orientation. In the second part, I will talk about marketing myths and how they can be true or not. To conclude, I will argue what I liked in this task and what different soft skill I learned from it. So now let's talk about the orientation. To begin, I will explain what is the orientation by the definition of the author Dahl and Stern. So for them, orientation is a key element on customer-led business on customer orientation. So in general, market orientation is the fact that you can understand the current and future needs of the customer, so you can give them product and service linked to their needs, and so you can add values to your company. So it exists for a traditional market orientation. So the first one is production. So you create in high volume, you create some economic of scale, and you find a lot of profit with this orientation. So the next orientation is product orientation. With this orientation, you search the best performance for your product. You create a product, a quality product, and you create product in medium volume, and sometimes you create large margins. So the first one is sales. So the definition for this orientation is we sell what we produce. So you create in a lot of quantity. It's not the first product on the market. You don't look for a loyalty customer, and you create good promotion on this product. So the last orientation is marketing orientation, but is the most important orientation because with it you create a lot of benefits, because you create what the customer wants, you place your ideas and products around the customer, and you create a lot of values to your company. Moreover, with this orientation, you create a virtuous circle because you increase sales, so you improve your place on the market, and you increase your profitability. After your customer is satisfied, so you have loyal customer and also new customer, and at the final you got a good reputation. But you need to create an action plan before to launch your marketing orientation, because it is the only one orientation who is really oriented. The customer is a king or a queen. So this statement means that you need to respect your customer, you need to satisfy their desire, and of course you need to identify what they need. So in marketing, it is very important to place your customer at the heart of your business, because if you don't do that, your customer can turn their back on you and can decide to buy another product from another company. So yes, the customer is a king or a queen. This statement is totally true, and you need to respect it if you want a success in your company. The second myth is number of distribution channels do not influence the marketing. So in the first part, I will talk about the definition of distribution channel. So distribution channel is a network of personnel and organizations are involved in getting a product or a service from the producer to the customer. So number of distribution channels are very important to your company and also can be a key to a success of your company. For example, If your product is delivered in a good way without damage, in a good time with a good packaging, your customer will be satisfied, and after it can be a loyal customer. But on the contrary, if your product is delivered in a bad way with lot of damage, your customer will be not satisfied, and of course it will not buy your product again. So yes, you need to be aware that your number of your distribution channels are very important to your company. So the first myth is a strong brand is invisible. So no, a strong brand is not invisible. In fact, it depends a lot of points. So the first point is company can fail due to a poor corporate governance. In fact, when a company is bigger, it's big, it's very difficult for to manage a decision between the director. The second point is that a company can fail due to an environment changement. In fact, a lot of companies fail after a long period of success. And to conclude, company can also fail due to a size. In fact, when a company is bigger, it's more complicated to change a direction. So no, a company is not invisible after a long period of success if she can't adapt herself to a new environment, to new decision, and to adapt her size. For example, we can take the example of the brand Motorola. In fact, she was very successful during the 20,000 years. She was very powerful. She was a leader on her market, but now she's far from invisible, and because she couldn't adapt herself to a new environment and to develop technologies to stay the leaders of her market. So the last myth is advertising always affects them. So advertising is one of the most important things in marketing. In fact, your advertising needs to be well realized if you want to improve your sales, but it's not the case for every brand. In fact, some advertising for some brands not doesn't reflect the face of the product or of the brand. So sometimes, if your advertising is not well realized, you want to target your audience, and people will not won't become new customer for your brand because they may see another advertising for a similar product that they like more than your advertising. So you need to be aware that an advertising is very important for your brand because if it's well realized, your sales will improve because it's the face of a product that people see at the beginning. But if your advertising is not well realized, people won't be attracted by your product. To conclude with this project, I learned a lot of things. The first thing is I learned about the orientation of the market and why it is important to select one if you want a successful company, and also I learned about marketing myths and how we can say that they are true or not, and why we talk a lot about them. Um, Moreover, I learned about a new way of teaching because I need to make research by myself, and also to make a link between the cortex and the lecture. This way of teaching is very different from the French way, so it was totally new for me to do this type of project. Moreover, I learned also about um, to make a video, to shoot the video. So it was I need to be very patient because it takes me a long time. Moreover, with this type of project, I felt more confident with me because I think I improved my English language because it's not my native language but my second language. So it was very difficult for me to speak in front of other more than 10 minutes by myself.